In the spirit of summer, we'd like to tell you about Camp Simcha in upstate New York. This place is what medical staff and counselors call a hospital disguised as camp. The word no is rarely used at Camp Simcha, and campers are encouraged to participate in adaptive kayaking, paddleboarding, talent shows, swimming, candle making, ceramics, leather making, Legos, robotics, theater, baking, painting, arcade games, and a climbing wall. Not only are the children accommodated and able to participate in activities, but many have stringent dietary needs, so meals are well planned and overseen by a nutritionist. Over 400 campers attend each summer, but each spot costs $15,000 per child. However, Chai Lifeline, a Jewish nonprofit, financially supports each and every camper every year. Rabbi Simcha Scholar, founder of Chai Lifeline, states, "I wish to go out of business daily because it would mean there are no more sick children to serve." One camper stated, "I've never felt so at home in my entire life." We will now hear from John Robinson, founder and CEO of Our Ability, on his thoughts regarding this uplifting story.
Hello, this is a great story. I applaud Camp Simcha and the nonprofit that supports each individual that goes through the camp. It is truly a wonderful opportunity. Let me explain why. As a quadruple amputee individual with a disability, 57 years old, the truth is, as a child, I really had very limited opportunities to participate in adaptive sport, in any kind of sporting organization. There were no disability camps that my parents presented to me or that was available to me financially. There probably were very few disability camps because of the institutionalization of children with disabilities. And so that was an opportunity lost for me. I didn't get a chance to socialize with other people with disabilities. I didn't get a chance to play sports with other people with disabilities, to swim, to recreate, and just to talk. And so I lost out on that. But as I've grown older, I have had the opportunity to meet other individuals with disabilities, to hand cycle across New York State with a good friend of mine that's a quadriplegic that also hand cycled. And so I have had the opportunity to do some adaptive sport. I played in 2 adaptive golf tournaments, so I met other individuals with disabilities that golf and like golf as much as I do. And so now in middle age, I get to do that. But as a young person, I didn't get to do that. So again, I applaud the camp and I applaud the funders and I applaud the parents that trust the camp to send to young people with disabilities off, because the socialization is so vital. And that's really what this is, as all summer camps are. They're socialization for the kids. And certainly for individuals with disabilities, maybe our greatest weakness is in the fact that it's harder for us to socialize. And a big part of that is because we don't have our own kind to socialize with, and we're thrown into a world of able-bodied people. And we have to learn socialization in that context. And that is very, very hard. It also isn't lost upon me that my own experience as we hand cycled across New York State in 2013 for the first time. We did stop at SUNY Brockport in Brockport, New York, where at the time we were hand cycling, Camp Abilities was having their week-long camp, where they did exactly the same activities. And I had the opportunity to speak to Camp Abilities while we were on our hand cycle trip and share some of my stories and meet a lot of the campers, late teens, early 20 individuals with disabilities that were blind and other disabilities. And I got a chance to meet them and share my story, and they shared their stories. One of those individuals that I met in 2013 is a man named Blaise, who is one of the commentators on disability in the public square. I'm proud that I've known Blaise since 2013, and it started because of one of these camp opportunities. Now Blaise is a productive citizen, parent, husband in society here in the capital region. That's what this does. And again, thanks to the support of those that support it, but especially thanks to those that run the camp, that work at the camp, and that send their children to the camp, and the trust that is there. Great job.
Hi, it's Blaise Bryant here for Disability in the Public Square and Our Ability podcast, talking about Camp Simcha, which is a summer camp for children who have blood disorders and cancer and other disabilities. As someone who participated in a lot of summer camps, I participated in the Camp Abilities sports camp for the blind when I was 8 years old for the first time at State University of New York at Brockport, where we did adapted track and field. We did tandem biking, swimming, gymnastics, judo, beep baseball, goalball, all these really cool sports with modifications so that we as blind people could participate. I was a camper for a number of years, becoming a counselor in training and then a camp counselor, full-fledged one, which took me to Camp Abilities Long Island at Adelphi University and Camp Abilities Tucson at the now closed Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind. I wish they did not close because that was a fantastic place that empowered a lot of people who are deaf, blind, or a combination of deaf, blind. Anyhow, I also got to participate in some adaptive canoeing and kayaking, similar to what the campers at Camp Simcha are able to do. And I have to tell you, I say all this and I realize it was a bit of a long setup to my point, but having these summer camp experiences as a person with a disability, I was born totally blind, in case you did not know. And these kids are dealing with cancer, blood disorders, other things. To be able to be around peers, people who can relate to their situation and circumstances, is really invaluable. And to be able to do adaptive hiking and other activities and to convert a hospital into a camp setting is just fantastic. Admittedly, I have to tell you, when I first saw the hospital converted into a camp, I was like, oh my goodness, what are we doing here? But then reading more about the mission of Camp Simcha, it's very worthwhile what's happening here. And I can tell you that I've got many friends still to this day from my summer camp days, which are quite a bit behind me. Oh, I also did the Camp Abilities Saratoga about 10 years ago as well. So those summer camp days are a bit behind me, but regardless, the friendships have stayed, albeit definitely not as close in touch with people as I would like. But the point here is having that peer setting to be you and to be able to do things that you might not otherwise get the opportunity to do because of whatever the reason may be. And let's also not lose sight of the family members who are taking care of these kids with their medical needs, because that's certainly a lot of work too. They need a break and a respite, and they get that too, at least my understanding of the article. So it's a really good thing all the way around here. And if you are someone with a disability interested in a summer camp or learning more or getting involved, I definitely would encourage you to do it, because it really is a life-changing experience. This is Blaise Bryant for Disability in the Public Square and Our Ability Podcast.